took a piece of cigarette, smoked it on my face. Yeah, I had money, I had help. Yes. She smoked it on my face and asked me, what is such a handsome man doing here? And for the first time I felt, how lost am I? That even a feels that I'm lost. A man is a tetrabyte being. You have a body, soul and a spirit, so you can't get spiritual nourishment from a hospital. So when people come, they need to understand, why am I going through what I'm going and what is the way out? Like there's a time I was just teaching about abortion, and I told the ladies, you don't know that there are rich men in this town who have covenants with altars, and they must deliver human sacrifice. Keep on messing up. How do I control myself? Yes, I know having before marriage is bad, but how do I control it? You know, it's a whole question.
Señorita, unachizisha bazenga. Señorita, señorita, unachizisha bazenga. Señorita, fuya yako yanikoroga. Señorita, macho yako yameremeta. Señorita, my love, tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Te amo, 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 te amo.
Alejandro, unanichanganya Alejandro, kuna vile unanivutia Alejandro, unanichezesha wani murder Alejandro, my love.
Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Te amo, 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 my love. Te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo.
nifanyeje, yeye tu hunitoa njeve. When the lights are out and the sun is down, nanisiwa wili, napata sijielewi. Unani just see, you look at me lately, wanitosha mimi, masikini mie. It's a feeling I can't hide, something close to paradise, anytime I see you. It's a feeling I can't hide, something close to paradise, anytime I see you. You, anytime I see you.
Yeah, karibu, let me hold you tight. Let me give you loving, let me treat you.
The excitement on my face just says it all. I've got the musical legends with me in studio. KBC Channel 1 is the place to be this night. The hashtag is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora. And with me, I have the M. Z.
No.
M's.
Yes.
The M's.
Yes.
I knew I was going to say it wrong, but I was like, let me try my luck.
I was like waiting. I'm
A
like,
or B. The M's. They're called Nameless and Wahu. And you know, I've waited for a while to say this, but I'm a fan. I've been a fan for a while. My mother
yeah?
is a fan.
Oh, man.
My aunties are fans. My entire Tribe 44 is a huge fan.
try for the phone.
You must give us a shout out.
I
Nina.
know.
Try 44.
I tell you, man.
Especially Mimi
Nothing
na
but
wewe.
love, yeah.
My friend, even Kiswahili.
Connection, eh?
Even though Kiswahili may not be our stronghold, but we rap.
It's a Friday
Yes.
night. Ah, yeah, that one you can sing, by the way.
How you guys look great. We're matching.
I know. Yeah, we talked about this. We were like, you know, let's
Let's do
Let's
this.
kill it, man.
We must. The dress
Yeah.
code tonight on Easy Friday has to be black.
black and elegant,
Black and black.
black and gold.
So you know, Indimuli mentioned that there was somebody who said that, you know, you guys are like Kenya's Jay-Z and Beyonce. How does that make you feel?
Pressure. As she says, manzi, if they can pass some money, that's some of their money.
Just like 1%. We're not asking for a lot. 1% of their money.
You're good.
Okay.
Very good.
You're good.
Yes.
But there's a complaint here. See, Beyonce and Jay-Z have collaborated since the time they started. You know, their relationship was out in the open, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why haven't the Mavenges collaborated until 2020?
2021?
Because he's so difficult. Like
Yeah.
his management.
Like, do you honestly
his
think
people,
do you honestly, like when you look at us,
Okay.
who do you think looks complicated and difficult? Just when you look at us.
You know, she's a friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
You have
biased
to be a
here.
bit careful, right?
She's looking at me with side eyes like,
Yo,
don't you dare.
don't you dare. You know how. No, I hear you. But,
You know, you guys should have collaborated. You'd have saved budgets.
I know. Hey, but these budgets, man, say we've saved them. Uko video vixen.
You have her.
My video vixen, I'm the video. Fox. For men, it's what?
Yeah. That's what it would be,
I
right?
know, yeah.
It doesn't
He's just
sound
a
right.
male background dancer. Tell him that.
Background dancer.
Yeah, but yeah, it initially it was strategic that we don't work together
Okay.
for some time. Like we were like, let's build our brands separately, so that guys know that we are separate. And then we started debating on how to come together. Initially, we're thinking of singles. We're still not happy with the kind of music we're coming up with as we try. That was like maybe 10 years ago we started thinking of ideas, and then it was like 3-4 years that we said no, we don't do a single, we do like an album project. That's when it started, and we feel like it's the time. I think that if we try to do it even 5 years before, we're not ready.
Really?
Like even in a mental space, we're not ready.
Okay.
Because it takes
Yeah.
a lot of mental energy to
Yeah.
literally to work with your spouse.
To work with this, to work with this.
What are you trying to say, Wahu?
Well, I'm just saying. We won't say too much, you know.
A lot.
Yeah.
It takes
But,
a lot
Yeah.
because it's being married in itself takes a lot. You know, a lot of trying to
15 years.
understand. 15 years going 16. It takes a lot of trying to understand each other, trying to, you know, because we're very different people, you know. So there is love, but there's also how do we make this a positive space? How do we do that? Then now you take that, and then now we are working together, and we both are very passionate about whatever it is that we're doing.
Absolutely.
We have very strong opinions about how it needs to be executed, and it's not easy.
It's not easy at the end of the day.
So we realized now later that maybe the timing was not right earlier, but we felt like the time was good now. We'd already started thinking about it and working on it just before Corona.
Right.
Then Corona happened, and we're like, it gave us more time to even think
Sit
about
down and really think
why we're doing it and how we want to do it. Then now we said we start 2021.
Okay.
So we're like, let's start dropping the singles one by one as we build and let people start knowing us as a group, and also we feel each other.
feel the waters.
Feel the waters.
Feel the temperatures.
Filiana.
You know, Filiana, Filiane.
Yes.
So we just, so we are there, and we're actually really having a good time. Like, honestly, it's really like I feel like we're really growing even closer. Okay, because you just find that it's like we had to acquire some new skills to learn how to work together and communicate, and then you realize, probably before we're not communicating well.
We're not understanding each other.
Now we're getting to understand a bit better. We're trying to understand our differences in an interesting way. So we're like, actually, and we actually knew that. We're like, this project should help us like grow and learn. So
and an album is in the works, right? 13-song album.
12 tracks. So 12 track. So and it's still actually in progress. Some songs are still being recorded as we go. Because towards the end of the year is when we want to drop it. But now it's a good chance to start introducing
under
ourselves.
the name The M's.
The M's.
All right, got it.
Your MZ.
Which is the camera?
And the M.
Face. Like you mean it's the M's.
The M.
Welcome, you're watching
the MZs. The
Easy Friday.
On Easy Friday.
Easy Friday.
The M's. So your MZ, I'm a MZ.
MZ.
Someone
That's
here.
the most common one, right?
But whenever, in fact, when we're introducing like the different the names that we'll be going by, Nameless and Wahu and the M's, because people are writing, we didn't realize that how they were pronouncing it was M. Until one day someone was introducing us and we're like,
MZ.
what? No.
But it's okay. I mean, we really appreciate, because the feedback, even what we should call ourselves, came from our fans. Because we put it out there in the public. We asked guys, what do you think makes sense? That really, before we dropped our the songs, This Love by Nameless and This Love.
No, it was when we were dropping Te Amo.
Oh, it was when we were dropping Te Amo. So we really asked guys, what do you think we should call ourselves? So it was a very inclusive process.
Conversation.
In fact, and it's good because they told us some things that we not thought about, and some were like, don't drop Nameless and Wahu because that we know it as a brand.
Because that's your identity.
That's your identity, Nameless and Wahu. Others were like, Madenges, but make it a short, it's more poppy and stuff like that. So the M's, so that's why whenever we're introducing, even if we check, we always say Nameless and Wahu present the M's.
All right.
So the guys,
that. Speaking of being cool, let's be honest, you guys have been cool for days, for years now.
Please tell that to Tumiso.
Tumiso, where Tumiso, your mom and dad are the coolest parents that you could have had. You are lucky to have such cool parents.
Yo, Meskiza.
Tumi, come on.
Come on now.
We'll talk in the DM. But anyways, I genuinely feel like you guys have managed to maintain this relevance and the status for so long. People from all walks of life enjoy your music. People of all ages enjoy your music. Like starting off from my mom, as I said, moving on to the TikTok generation right now. In fact, Te Amo was viral. It was trending for a long time. It was one of the top sounds on TikTok. How have you managed that? I want to know your secret. Like, how have you managed to stay relevant for so long?
Wow. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported us all this time, really, But I feel like one of the things that we are really open to doing is learning.
Yes.
You learn. You never get to a place where you say, I know everything. Because once you get to that place, then things
can't
will
really grow.
happen. You can't really grow. And right now, especially with the digital space and, you know, there's TikTok, there's things, you really have to be in a place where I can be open enough to learn from people younger than me, you know, because this is the digital thing is for people much younger than me. So I'm like, I have to be like, hey, we have to be open to learning from people younger than us and people older than us as well. So I think as long as you're in a space where you're open to that, then you give yourself an opportunity to grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
It's interesting that you've actually mentioned that, because I know some of your dancers are TikTokers.
Yes.
Some of your choreographers are TikTokers. And it's so nice that you've bridged the gap between these two generations.
Yeah.
You've done it seamlessly. Nameless, is it the durag that helps you?
She's like, is it the durag?
All to the durag.
I'm like,
It has to
no, in
be.
fact, the durag, I was so happy the durag came back to fashion. Because at the time the durag
Especially
was
during
there.
COVID.
Yeah, and then it came back, and I was like, yes, it's back now, because I really used to like wearing the durag before. But yeah, I think as she's mentioned, you know, learning from the younger generation, because I think older guys always feel like they know and the younger guys don't know, you know. But there's always going to be something that, and for me, that's how I think it has kept me young. I learned even from Tumiso, my teenage firstborn daughter, and you know, I'm just like, okay, what's vibing, why, what's the reason? You get so I think that's what has helped us be able to do that. And as she's mentioned, the older guys who've been there before you also let you know what to expect. You know, you can also learn from them. So and having fun doing what you're doing, you know. So I feel like we're in that kind of career that it keeps you young. So when we're like, want to do this album, we're like, okay, that means we need to join TikTok.
Yes. In our age, we saw like Buddha.
Yeah, why are you in there?
And now they're probably looking at you thinking, these guys are OGs.
Yeah,
they knew it.
They knew it.
Yeah, so
Given
stuff like that. So it's I mean, I guess that's what keeps you young and vibrant.
Right.
Keeping up to date with stuff and pushing even for us, we push ourselves, and as we do it, we're like, that was nice. And then also another thing I'm loving with this album project is it's making the family really close, because Tumiso is also really involved. She's like, you know, choreography ideas. I remember she helped us with the idea for feeling. The next video, in fact, she's only came up with that concept of where they meet the time, and then they decide, and then they meet later on at the rooftop.
I did not know.
You know that?
No.
So she's the director in the making.
She scripted that, because I was like, how do we bring this out? She's like, what if you know, she's doing Bible study and him is somewhere in the party or something, and then they're checking their clocks, and then they're like, we need to meet at 7, and then they both meet. And I was like, yeah, I like that. And then Keo also is there. She's a choreographer.
Keo came up with some ideas for the audio as well. Remember?
Even for the audio,
Mommy, put this here.
Yeah, she'll be like,
she's 7, but she'll say it in a way that you understand. No, she's listened to it. She's like, come. She'll pull her dad to the studio. Come. Now, try put this here. And when you place it, you're like,
it makes sense.
yeah, and you're like,
and we left it there like, you know what, it does make sense.
yeah. So it's I also like
she's
that.
a great
about
dancer.
It. Oh yeah,
I've watched. In fact, even Tumi, both of them
They're both
are
really
such
good,
brilliant dancers.
Yeah, so it's
Absolutely
obviously
love
They take
me
those,
first.
yeah.
It's obviously me first, and then Tumiso and Keo.
And
then-
Who's the better dancer between the two of you?
No, it's
I am.
obviously me.
It's me.
Like straight, like, you know what?
Yeah.
If you go into the comments, you see it now clearly.
It's
like,
always Nameless.
Nameless is just flawless.
Okay.
I don't even
Nameless is
understand.
flawless.
Like,
But don't worry.
It's fine.
okay.
We'll do a dance challenge
Yeah, we'll do a
later.
challenge and
Let
see.
people decide,
Yeah.
right?
let's
Let's talk about your relationship as a couple. You know, you've been a celebrity relationship. You've been in the limelight for so many years, 15 years going on to 16. How has it been? I'm sure it's not been short of, you know, problems and in terms of like misunderstandings. There's been ups and downs. That's how it is. That's life.
Isn't it?
And that's how every relationship is.
100%.
But how have you been able to like strike a balance between your private life and between your personal life as well?
I think one of the things, first of all, from the onset of the relationship, we were not coming together because he's Nameless or Wahu.
Yeah.
We met in college before all this happened. We met 23 years ago.
There were no phones at the time.
There were no phones, so you really had
Phone
to.
booth.
Yeah,
How did you flirt?
I know, right?
I know, Manze.
It was Leo. There's no DM to slide into.
There's no slidings.
Where did you see her? Or where did you meet each other?
Yeah, we met in like it was actually like a small show, and it was my first time to be on stage. I didn't even know I was going to be performing.
He didn't even have a name.
And come then, and she was there backing up Peter Dera, who I think is watching from Kiserian. He told me that he's watching. Yeah, he told me that.
I love it.
So we met in that by chance, and we just struck a friendship.
Friendship.
A friendship?
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
what
we
we
started-
stroke?
Yeah, I thought it was more. She didn't care much about that. But anyway, so after some time now we became like tight.
Yeah.
And then we started realizing we really love this music thing, and it became like our passion. Our passion.
Wow.
But,
So you developed your passions
now
while
together.
you were developing your relationship.
100%.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think that's why, you know,
Like
always saying-
we would have gotten married in spite of, like, if you're not, like, we were in campus, he was studying architecture, I was doing, and I was doing math. Don't ask me why, but yeah, if we were doing that, so whatever careers we would have gotten into, we would have gotten together anyway. So because of that, like the authenticity of why we are together, we're very sure that we're, number one, we're in it for the long haul.
Right.
Number two, we owe it to our kids to sort of shield them from certain things.
Yes.
And learning as you go, like you almost sometimes have to feel your gut, like what am I comfortable to share, where do I draw the line between
in
A,
terms
B,
of
C,
social
D?
media as well.
Exactly, because my why for my family is ours, you know, so that even when we're in our 80s, we're still together. When the kids, you know, we want to raise a balanced family, but at the same time we have a career, and it's important to be on social media and all that. So we really have to have a lot of conversation between us.
Right.
Like, should we post this? Should we not post this? Should we do this? Even with Tumiso, who is also on social media, we really have to have conversations. What are you sharing? What are you not sharing? And why?
Okay.
And the why behind it.
So I think communication is absolutely important.
100%.
communicate. But see, the thing about it is that when you hear the word communication, you think communication is just talking.
Yes.
Communication is just not talking. Communication means that whatever you've communicated what you mean. So we realize after many years that whereas we talk a lot, sometimes you're not communicating what you're really saying and all that. So for me, I think that's something so important to bring out, that learning how to communicate with someone is actually what is important, not just communicating.
Comprehending also is very important.
That's the word.
That's the word?
Yeah, you
That's the word of the day.
Comprende. Yeah, because if you don't, and these are small things that we would be told by our life coach Matt later on, because I'm saying something and then she's replying, then he's like,
because you're not listening.
you're not listening.
Or I'm hearing different from
You're
what
hearing
you
from
meant.
what?
Your
So-
understanding is in very different
So your
ways.
relationship can consistently be having wrong communication through years, and that can be like, it can be a mess, and you don't know, and that's guys struggle. Why is relationship so hard? It's because you're not communicating well. You're not understanding the other person, what they're going through, what they're feeling, and vice versa. So so some of those things, even for us, we had to learn and
Unlearn.
That's the word. Unlearn and learn.
Switched on
Like
this.
Okay, I see you.
I'm really comprehending this conversation. Mesikia, 15 years advice right here. Relationship advice for free. Like you wouldn't get this anywhere else apart from KBC Channel 1. Like this is from the Madhya. They're telling you comprehending is more important than communicating. So at the end of the day, you need to understand what the other person is saying. You need to listen. So
straight up.
I mean, I completely understand. As you can tell. I'm really understanding everything you've said. Let's talk about parenting. You know, you mentioned that Tumiso is on social media, and of course we follow each other. I love her content. She's such a bubbly, vibrant girl.
By the way.
I mean, she's got a bright future, I have to say. You know, lovely girl. Has it been hard protecting her from the outside world? Because at times, let's be honest, social media can have, again, its pros and cons, right? There's sometimes that you meet certain people on social media that aren't right for you, that don't have the right intentions for you. So how do you, as a parent, shield her from all of this? Do you have like restrictions in terms of the hours she uses on her phone, or how did you make her realize you know, what to do and what not to do on social media?
So I think one of the things because we are learning how to parent kids, we are also learning how to parent kids in the digital space.
Yes.
We are learning that, number one, the digital space, like you've rightfully said, has its pros and cons, but it's part of our life now. It's people are making money off of social media, so it has lots of opportunities, but it has a lot of negative things as well. So first thing is just to keep talking, you know, and understand how, you know, how do I relate with my online audience,
right,
as a teenager, understanding that the people who follow you are not, you know, those are not, don't take it personally when people don't like your post, don't, you know, understand the difference between your online friends and your offline
that is
friends.
very true.
You know,
not everyone who follows you is your friend.
That's
and I
true.
think it's also, social media is new to all of us.
Absolutely.
And we realize that we need to start training her to understand it as much as we're also trying to understand it. So we're like, okay, let's guide her through it a lot, you know. So we're on with her all the time, checking, you know. She'll be like, I got such a comment, how should I reply to this? Why would someone say this? So
and we have that conversation.
How would I reply to such a situation? How do you feel about this? And we look at it like it's like school.
Right.
So you're actually training her how, because honestly, social media will definitely be a subject in school soon, because they'll realize,
I feel the same.
Yeah, they'll realize it's such a big part of life that they have to start training guys how to communicate, how to deal with it. So
even like the other time, you know, I got trolled the other day. Yes, on my Facebook for
I'm just going to ask, that's my next question, in fact, like how do you deal with negativity and cyber trolls and cyber bullies? They're everywhere, let's be honest. Sometimes they just hide behind the computer or the phone or the keyboard. Like, what do you do to keep that energy away from your life and away from affecting you mentally?
So first of all, I was saying, like, when that happened, so what happened was I shared a photo of us. We were in Malindi recently, and we were on the beach, and I was in a swimming costume, and my darling husband was in jeans. So the point for me for sharing was, it was meant to be light, like a joke, like he's wearing jeans, but I still love him and whatever. Like, I'm the one who's appropriated this. But there was a lot of negativity around it, because they're like, oh, some people are saying you need to cover up, whatever. Others are saying no, she's on the beach, she's dressed appropriately for the occasion, and it brought a lot. So what I first did, actually, it was you who did it first. You discussed it with Tumiso, and like, look at what's happening here. What do you think? So that we can delink, before we get emotional about it, let's delink and see, what do you feel about this? So we had that conversation with her. Like, she's like, Mom, first she calls it a mom bikini. I'm like, it's a mom bikini, what's the problem? I'm like, I know it is a mom. It's like, so what do you feel like you need to learn. People have opinions, and people will continuously have opinions, you know. So you need to know how far you're going to allow people's opinions to influence how you move forward, because you cannot stop people from having opinions. You know? So even so there was that instant, and then for her also. So we have the conversation, so that when something negative happens even to her, you're like, let's isolate this and let's look, because they have opinions. How do you feel about it? You know,
and it's so important for people to understand that on social media, people from such different backgrounds, and they all come in one pot. So of course, when you put something, there'll be
different opinions, different views,
and it's to be able to separate and say, these are just opinions. Some people are too rude when they're giving their opinions, you know, and you have to be like, okay, this is a rude guy. This is.
But don't get emotional.
This guy needs to be blocked, because this one is off.
The block button is magical.
Ones, that one is a block. This one just needs to be replied to in a polite way, a kind way, show them kindness. This one just misunderstood. So it's just trying to understand the different kinds of things that can come your way and what you need to separate. Because even us, we're learning that process, because we're also new into social media.
At the end of the day, it's all about learning and unlearning, as we mentioned, right? And since we want to learn, we have a rapid fire for you, a quick one, right? I just want to know if Tumisa has been teaching you enough. Okay, so I'll ask you 5 questions, right? And then we dance. Okay, ready?
Sawa.
Okay, so we're going to start off with, what's YKTV?
So youth, young Young Kenyans TV. I know YKTV, and
You know the?
I know
You know the vibes.
the vibes.
Yeah. So
yes.
YKTV is you know the vibes. Number 2, who wears the pants in the relationship?
Moi.
You, Nameless.
Moi. Yeah.
Wahu doesn't seem to agree, but we'll move on. We'll agree to disagree. Who is the stricter parent?
Wahu.
Wahu. Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Who said I love you first? Him. Nameless.
Us? For real?
Babe.
I said it first.
What?
Where?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Now, number 5, the last one, right? Who is the more dominating one?
Could you tell from this interview?
Could I tell from the interview? Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. So that was brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's take a moment to appreciate the M's today. The feelings they've brought, the love, te amo, everything that this interview has been all about. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciated your presence, the good energy. A big shout out to Tumiso, who's watching, and your parents are really cool, even though they don't know what YKTV means. It's okay. I've taught them. I've prepped them for you, my dear.
See, learning from the younger generation.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah, so before we go, we'd like to just dance a little bit to the song that I think everyone loves, Te Amo.
Yes.
We ready for that?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
We've got our DJ ready? All right.
Super.
Hiya.
Signorita, unachizisha bazenga. Signorita, fuja yako yanikoroga. Signorita, macho yako yameremeta. Signorita, my love. Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Te amo, te amo, te amo. Te amo, te amo, te amo. Te amo, te amo, te amo. My love.
Alejandro, unanichanganya Alejandro, kuna vile unanivutia Alejandro, unanichezesha wani murder Alejandro, my love.
Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege. Tembei nikiwa nawe, naburuka kama ndege.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure with Wahu and Nameless.
Yo.
We've danced, we've laughed, we've talked. We've really enjoyed our time together, and we really enjoy and love that you also, love the show. So keep tweeting #Easy Friday. Tell me who you'd want to listen to and watch next week, this Friday. For now, good night. Take care. Bye bye.
See ya.
YKTV.
Here we go again, falling for the bad boy kind of man. Oh no, sasa nifanyeje? Yeye tu hunitoa njeve. Oh
Virusi vya korona huenea unapokaribiana na mtu aliyeambukizwa kupitia matone, haswa wakati anapokohoa au kupiga chafya, na pia kwa kugusa sehemu au vifaa vilivyo na virusi hivi. Jitenge kisha piga nambari 719 ili upate usaidizi. Mtu yeyote anaishi na maradhi sugu kama vile virusi vya HIV, kifua kikuu, saratani na mengineo anashauriwa kutumia dawa zake jinsi alivyoshauriwa na daktari bila kukosa. Komesha korona. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na serikali ya Kenya.